Sports.
We are sports. We are Sun.
The Rays are red hot, winning 6 of their last 7 games to close out a successful 10-day road trip. And tonight, it's homecoming night at the Trop as Hernando High product Christian Arroyo makes his home debut for the Rays against the former Lakeland Dreadnought, Chris Sale, and the Red Sox. Tonight, the Rays welcome a return home after that successful road trip, and they welcome Willy Adames, the team's #1 position prospect. He'll be joining the Rays tonight from Durham, arriving just typically moments ago in a quick turnaround into and out of the Rays clubhouse and right into the starting lineup. Willy Adames will be in there playing tonight. Well, hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Well, we're seeing more of the Rays' young talent, and Willy Adames is here, and they put him right into the lineup.
Yeah, get a chance to contribute right away. And, you know, this is a big part of the Rays' future here in the house for the Rays. Like you said, Dwayne, the #1 position player prospect in the Rays organization came over in that David Price trade back in 2014. 18 years old at the time. Now all of a sudden 22. He's one of those guys, you look at him, he's a smooth, athletic shortstop. He's handled the bat very well the last 2 seasons in AAA. This year hitting .311 on base percentage of .387 with emerging power. So he'll get a chance to go right into that lineup tonight and come out and make an impact.
You saw he was part of that big deal at the end of July in 2014 with the Tigers, the David Price deal. He carries with him a lot of energy, and the Rays manager, Kevin Cash, happy to have him here.
It's very exciting. I mean, Willy has done nothing but make just positive impressions every time you see him, every time you talk to him. Interactions, I mean, you guys are going to see firsthand. I know most of you guys have already talked to him in spring training, but he's just got that knack where he can come in, light up a room, light up a clubhouse, and we anticipate that he's going to do some special things and light up the field for us. I don't know if he'll do it this go around, but he's a special player that we're very aware of what his capabilities are, and we look forward to seeing him help us.
And not to be overshadowed, the Rays will have Christian Arroyo, who joined the club on the road trip, coming in to make his Tropicana Field debut. And Rich will have more when we return on that debut at home.
Ready to battle Boston in game one of this three-game series between AL East rivals. Arroyo, a rookie, has acquitted himself very well in his first three games since getting the big call up from AAA Durham to join the big club. 4 hits and 3 walks in 13 plate appearances, and tonight is made even more special because he grew up just 45 minutes from Tropicana Field. His mom, Kim, raised him as a single mom. She gets the lion's share of the credit for helping him make a big league dream come true.
She just messed up her knee about 2 weeks ago, so it'll be interesting to see how she handles it. But no, it'll be fun. It'll be interesting. You know, getting to see her and wearing the jersey that I grew up wearing is going to be cool. So I'm excited. Play baseball, you know. It's going to be fun. I have a lot of family and friends out here tonight, but just looking forward to the opportunity and helping the team get a W.
We'll hear from Christian's mom, Kim, in game tonight. Arroyo will bat 7th against Chris Sale as the Rays look to climb back to 500 with a win tonight against the Red Sox. Just over 3 minutes to go till first pitch. Dwayne Stats and Brian Anderson with the call. Enjoy Rays baseball, everybody, on Fox Sports Sun.
Rays back home, fresh off the 7-4 road trip. 22-year-old infielder out of Santiago, Dominican Republic, Willie Adames, will take his spot at shortstop in making his debut tonight at Tropicana Field against Boston. And here is the Red Sox lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Mookie Betts will lead it off, followed by Andrew Benintendi, and then Hanley Ramirez, J.D. Martinez, Xander Bogaerts, and Rafael Devers down the middle, with Eduardo Nunez hitting 7th. Sandy Leon will do the catching, hitting 8th. And Jackie Bradley Jr., the center fielder, bats 9th. And all set to go to work on the hill, Jake Faria. First pitch is upstairs to get this one underway at 10 minutes past the hour. This one is upstairs, 2-0, 72 comfortable degrees inside, and not a great disparity, 74 outside. 2-0 pitch. That's a strike call. The numbers on Betts. A lot of pop up there in the leadoff spot. The pitch is upstairs. Down 3-1.
And a good eye here to start this ball game off. Jake Faria with some fastballs out over the plate, but just a little above the zone, and Betts showing the ability to lay off.
Goes after this one and pops it into right field, not overly deep field, still coming in, and makes the catch. He came in, paused, and then realized he was going to have to accelerate a little bit more, and he got there to make the grab.
Way to retire Betts there in a bad count, a 3-1 count, but there is a certain level of comfort here for Jake Faria at Tropicana Field as you see the difference. You see the 5 road starts and the ERA, but look at what he's done at home. Perfect on the record, that ERA of just 174, and that opponent average below 200, well below 200.
Here's Andrew Benintendi. First pitch is a ball. Benintendi has his average up to 285, and he's been hot recently. Out in front. The changeup, not a lot of dip on it, but the change of speed had him way out in front.
And you'd like to have both, because when Jake is on his game with that pitch, he's going to get the change of speed and the dive at the end.
It's going to be out of play the other way. 1-2.
You go up against the top offense in Major League Baseball, and you want to make sure that all 3 of your pitchers are sharp and that you're thinking one step ahead of those hitters.
Strike 3 call. That pitch up and away just caught the zone. Benintendi not happy, but he is called out on strikes.
Well, let's take a look at the Rays defense and see how it's going to line up here tonight, brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. And in the outfield left to right, we've got Rob Refsnyder, Malik Smith, and Johnny Field. Across that infield, third to first, Christian Arroyo, Willie Adames, Daniel Robertson, and C.J. Cron, with Wilson Ramos behind the dish.
A little peek into the future and the present right there. Here's Hanley Ramirez taking the pitch away, 1-0. The strikeout, by the way, of Benintendi up and away. Caught the zone, but it was one of those pitches that could have gone either way. Adam Hamari behind the plate likes to call strikes if it's around that zone. And you look at his strike numbers versus strikes and balls called, and he is heavy on the strike department.
Another one of those umpires looking to call strikes. Give me an excuse to call that a strike, because that's what I want to do.
High popper right side. Robertson looking for it. Cron out there, and he finds it and makes the catch. Robertson angling out from second, never did find it.
Yeah, listen, I know the Rays have been on the road for a long time, but
they got it together. Take a look at Daniel Robertson. He'll be leading it off. Rest of the lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. C.J. Crone hits second in front of Matt Duffy, who will be the DH. Wilson Ramos hitting cleanup, and then Willie Adames, followed by Johnny Field, Christian Arroyo. Rob Refsnyder will hit eighth, and Malik Smith in center field hitting ninth.
Well, tough customer on the mound tonight here for the Boston Red Sox. Left-hander Chris Sale making his 11th start of the season, and you see the last four versus the Rays. The record 2-0, ERA 2.25. Now that walk and hits per innings pitched, that whip below 1. You limit base runners in any way, you limit the opposition's opportunities to score.
Well, the Rays 3-7 against Boston. And here's Robertson trying to get it started against Chris Sale. Pitch is popped up right side. Ramirez at first will make the catch. One pitch, one out right there.
Let's go ahead and set the Red Sox defense for you. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. In the outfield left to right, Andrew Benintendi, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Mookie Betts. Across the infield third to first, we've got Rafael Devers, Xander Bogaerts, Eduardo Nunez, and Hanley Ramirez. Sandy Leon gets the call tonight behind the plate.
Now it'll be C.J. Crone. Crone hitting .278. The pitch is a strike. And a strike again. You see that one on that outside edge, just picking up the edge. That's likely to be a strike all night, which makes a tough night against this guy.
Well, especially with that breaking ball. I mean,
swing and a miss. Fastball 98.
And I'm going to tell you what, Daniel Robertson coming out there and swinging at that first pitch, and you can tell right now that Chris Sale is on high alert. This Rays offense at times can be patient, take their walks. A guy like Sale likes to attack and fill up the strike zone. So they are out there ready to swing the bat, and this fastball right here that closes out Crone was at 98. So he's got his big-time velocity early in this game. You don't often see that. He's a guy that for a while will pace himself, 93, 94, can go get 98 when he needs it. Usually you don't see it in the first.
The pitch is a strike to Duffy. And the first-year manager of this Boston Ball Club, Alex Cora, hired third week of October last year. There's a strike. It's 0-2. And he got the Red Sox off to a 17-2 start. Since then, they've gone 15-13, winning 4 of their last 5. A ball, 2 strikes here to Matt Duffy.
Yeah, it looked after the first few weeks of the season, they're going to run away and hide. And then all of a sudden, they came back to earth a little bit. The New York Yankees got red hot, were able to catch and surpass.
The Red Sox start the day second, a half game back. Did he go? He did not. Sale ready to walk off the mound, looking to get the call from the first base umpire, Dan Belladino, but he did not. This one too high. It's 3-2.
Another 98 trying to close out Matt Duffy in, and Duffy able to work this all the way out full.
And he walks on a pitch in. So he draws the walk. I'll tell you, that's something of a moral victory. When you look at the Rays and what they've been able to do or not do against Sale, when you put Crone together with Duffy, and then you add Robertson, Miller's not in the lineup today, but if you put those 4 hitters together, they're a combined now 0 for 32 in their collective careers against Chris Sale.
Moving in the right direction.
Got to walk here. Man on base.
Work for a hit next time, and then off you go. That's pretty astounding, those numbers.
Yeah, and I'll tell you,
Or
another
lack
one
of
that's
numbers.
fairly astounding is Wilson Ramos, who's 4 for 13 off him with 2 home runs. So if you're going to walk in front of a hitter, get on base, see what Ramos can do with this guy. There aren't many hitters who do a lot against Chris Sale. There's a liner, little looper. It's going to fall for a base hit. Duffy's going to head to third, first and third. And so the Rays with 2 outs put up a little threat. And they're going to put up that threat for Willy Adames, who'll be making his major league debut here.
Got him on the changeup, Dwayne, and that's not a bad pitch at all by Chris Sale. That ball below the knees, maybe just off the plate away. Look at the plate coverage there by Ramos. He dumps it into center, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say Matt Duffy's hamstring is feeling pretty good, aggressively getting over to third base.
And now Willy Adames, just recalled from AAA, literally just got to the ballpark shortly before this game. Time to go into the clubhouse, get his uniform, loosen up a little bit, and now he's playing and facing Chris Sale. First pitch is a strike. Adames, 22 years old, was hitting .311 at AAA Durham with 4 homers and 25 runs batted in. The #1 position prospect for the Rays. And it's upstairs. 1-1. The guy who traded Adames to the Rays as the GM of the Tigers is now the head baseball guy for the Red Sox. He's here, Dave Dombrowski. Swing and a miss. 98 on that fastball.
And you know what? It was middle in. That's a tough pitch to get to, and Willy Adames took a nice aggressive swing at it. Came up empty. Looked to be right on it. It wasn't like he blew him away with it. Those are tough pitches to get to, and he tries to crowd you approaching triple digits.
This is really breaking in to the big leagues. 22 years old. You face Chris Sale. And he fouls it, so we'll see another 1-2 delivery.
How about this, too? Chris Sale has yet to give up a hit with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position on the season. 0 for 20.
Well, Adames and the Rays thinking it's about time.
He is due.
The 1-2 again. And he fouls the fastball. Another one at 98.
This is a good battle. You know, you fall down 2 strikes. Duffy was able to work a walk out of that. And then Adames has fouled off a tough slider and then another 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Get off a plane, get your uniform on, and face Chris Sale.
Give you too much time to think about it. Thrust into the action.
And a cut and a miss fastball strikes him out. 97 on that one for the Rays in the first. A hit, a walk, no runs, and 2 left. We're going to go to the second inning. No score. spot against the hard throwing lefty. And we go to the second inning. It's a 1-2-3 first for Jake Faria. JD Martinez. Be careful with this guy. He loves that first pitch.
And has a ton of power.
He goes after it and fouls it back. Strike one.
And you know that's one of those pitches right there that you're fortunate to get away with. You know, a guy that loves the first pitch fastball, does a lot of damage on that pitch, and then got one right down the middle. Take that as a strike and move on.
Close there, but in off the plate. 1-1.
He has acclimated himself to Boston quite nicely, and here early on.
Well, he's filled the bill after David Ortiz retired. They went without him last year and had a difficult time hitting home runs for a Red Sox team at Fenway. That's pretty remarkable. And JD Martinez has done a pretty good job of taking care of that. There's a little base hit against the open side of the infield, picked up by Field, the right fielder, in right center. With 3 men on the left side, and Martinez rolls it through what would be the normal second baseman spot.
That's what has allowed him to hit for that average of 343. That fastball's got some cutting action to it, stays up in the zone, and Martinez, as you can see, the Rays right here, they've got the 3 on the left side, and then of course the lone CJ Cron on the right, and he just, with 2 strikes, protecting, take advantage.
Xander Bogaerts. Pitch is a strike on the inside part of the plate. Bogaerts hitting .301 and really tough against the Rays this year. These two teams have played 10 times already.
Too many. Too many this early.
Yep. This one inside. Start of a move by Martinez as Ramos takes care of that, tracking it down the third base side.
Now everybody, this pitch, Martinez was saying it hit Benintendi. Of course, it clearly did not, but Martinez was going off first base, holding his hands up like I was just taking second base. I was just taking my base.
Hit the plate umpire instead. Alex Cora asking them to wait a moment, and then he realizes that it wasn't close on the replay. So it's 1-1 here on Xander Bogaerts. Ground ball, shortstop. Down over to Robertson, and a wide throw, but they got the tag. And the Rays get the double play. Bogaerts grounds into the 6-4-3. Adames Robertson to Cron, who came off the bag and got the swipe tag.
Well, it wasn't a thing of beauty, but guess what? It turned out to be effective. You get Bogaerts to hit the ball on the ground right at Adames at short. And the shovel here a little bit low, and then Daniel Robertson, of course, throwing that ball from an odd angle, and it pulls Cron off. But a nice job by CJ to be able to haul that ball in and get the tag on the hip of Bogaerts right there.
Devers, after the first pitch, fouls the fastball back for a strike. One and one now to Devers. It's foul. Off the screen and right back down into the Boston dugout. It's 1-2. Little looper into shallow right. Here comes Field. He got it. Nice sliding catch by Johnny Field. That takes care of Devers and the Red Sox. A little star by that one for Fields. He'll lead off the bottom of the second inning. No score. Will lead off this inning after making that impressive grab coming in and a sliding catch at that.
And good timing on that slide. Goes right down, gets comfortable, and then bags it.
So here's Field hitting .308 to start the night. Takes a change for a ball. Back and a cut and a miss. 1-1. An 18-pitch first inning for Chris Sale. Fastball makes it 2-1.
It's interesting what the Boston Red Sox have done with him this season, just not letting him letting him get deep into games here early in the season. Last year down the stretch was not as strong and sharp as he was early on, so you start to limit his innings on the front end so that he's strong for the back end of what they feel is going to be a deep October run.
Yeah, they're trying to counter what had become something of a career trend for him late.
Yep. And really, when you look at it, he's averaging 6 1/3 innings to start this season. His first 10 starts in 2017, he averaged 7 1/3.
That's a base hit, slap past Bogarts and into left. Johnny Field takes care of that 3-1 pitch and is aboard to lead off the bottom of the second. So with a runner at first and nobody out, Christian Arroyo, who joined the club on the road, was impressive, 4 for 10. And tonight, the young man will make his debut at home. Not uncommon for him to wear a Rays jersey and be here at the Trop as a fan growing up. And here he is, his first at bat at Tropicana Field. And it's a strike on the outside corner. And there's his mother, and guess who stopped by? Big O. 1-1 count on Arroyo.
Well, one of the things that impressed us about him on that road trip and just those 10 at-bats was, you know, like everybody else it seems in this Rays lineup, the ability and willingness to go the other way, use the other side of the field for base hits. I know that impressed Ozzie Timmons, something that he mentioned.
Tapper foul. You know, and we've seen this lineup certainly a lot more than the one last year does that. I think it makes for an interesting lineup top to bottom, having hitters with the willingness and the capability of doing that.
Look how he's being defensed. This is old school baseball. You know, there's not everybody playing him straight up.
Cut and a miss. Fastball 98, trying to catch up to that. And that's out number 1.
I think what we're seeing early on here from Chris Sale is he feels that this is a big game because he is coming out with his big time velocity early on. Every time that we've seen him, even last year, you're trying to pace himself early, only going to that 97, 98 well when he absolutely needs it. He's been living up there here in the early going tonight.
Rob Refsnyder making a start in left field, hitting 8th. That's a strike on the inside part of the plate.
Does a good job of mixing his pitches against right-handed hitters. He's going to see a lot of those, as dominant as he is from the left side. Fastball, slider, changeup.
Yeah, right-handed hitters only 181 against him. Fly ball into right. Betts backs up a few steps. It's the second out. So 2 gone after the leadoff single by Johnny Field. Alex Smith makes his way to the plate. Hitting .303 with a .372 on base percentage. Alex has made good use of his speed from the offensive side with 13 infield hits. Field draws a toss. He's back in.
Red Sox concerned that Johnny Field might go here. You know, opposing base stealers 4 out of 5 against Chris Sale. 2 outs. Maybe you try to get him into scoring position with a tough matchup here at the plate. And if I'm Alex Smith, I'm thinking the other way. I'm thinking about that slider, that fastball, and trying to slap it into left field. So easy to pull off of his breaking ball, and that's what the lefties are going to see. Fastball, slider.
And a broken bat right back to Sale, who grabs it. The bat, the barrel end, split in half. The Rays get a base hit, leave a man. We go to the 3rd, scoreless. Baseball on Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by WB Mason. Who but WB Mason, the official office supply company of the Tampa Bay Rays. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Rooms to Go. Here we go into the third. Eduardo Nunez pops up the first pitch, foul. It's going to be playable. And Crone over from first, right in front of the dugout, makes the catch.
Is it me, or is there something with the pop-ups that you don't feel real comfortable with here tonight?
Well, we saw a couple in the first, and maybe Crone less than 100% certain in appearance on that one.
And what I was going to say before was I know that the Rays have been on the road for a while, but some of these pop-ups, we've looked like the visiting team. We know how much visitors have had trouble with the roof here at Tropicana Field. At the end of the day, they've all been caught, so
there you go.
I guess that is the bottom line.
That's the object. Sandy Leon takes a fastball for ball one. 208 hitter on the year for Leon. And it's a 2-0 count. Into the far reaches of the dugout. Down near the camera well goes that one.
Well, I can tell you this, Dwayne, that right now we are currently tied with the Colorado Rockies for fewest home games played in 2018.
That could bode well.
Or 2000, either one. That would be something if we were still in the booth.
And now a look into the future.
That's a long time from now.
3-1. It's ball four. I thought we were doing a science project there for a moment.
And listen, I've always been interested in science in all the fields.
What specific field would that have been? Today only, the Rays have a steal for you. Visit RaysBaseball.com/steal, and you can purchase lower level tickets to the game this Saturday for just $10. That's a $30 value, reduced to $10 for Rays fans. Today only. So go to RaysBaseball.com/steal to get your deal. Raise up. Jackie Bradley Jr. It's been a struggle for Bradley lately. Ground ball to first. It gets by Crone. Robertson got a hand on it, or rather Adames over there out of the defensive situation, the overshift. And everybody's going to be safe. Boy, for a moment, it appeared that was a double play possibility, but it got under Crone.
Hey, you're absolutely right. This ball right off the edge of his glove. But I'll tell you this, if Adames doesn't dive and knock that ball down with his hand or arm, whatever came into contact with it, boy, if you field it there, you've got a great chance. But if that gets by him, then you more than likely have runners at first and third. And so by knocking that down, no play made, but at least you keep Leon at second base.
Yeah, that's a great effort by Adames. Goes as a base hit for Bradley Jr. He was doing almost an upside down pirouette in the aftermath of keeping that ball within reach.
That speaks to that athleticism out there at shortstop. And you're right, you know, come right up from Durham and get thrown right over, basically playing second base on that particular defensive shift. But he did a nice job of keeping that ball out of right field.
2 on. 1 out, top of the order. Tough guy to face here with men on base. And now the pitch is a strike, 0-2. You know, you were talking about this earlier, looking at Betts' numbers. They're always impressive. He came in hitting .365, 15 homers, but only 32 RBIs, and you figure hitting cleanup, he doesn't get a lot of these situations.
Right.
But here, the 8 and 9 hitters are on.
Yeah, and that's been, you know, a rarity for him. And that's why 15 homers, but just 32 driven in. You expect more bang for your buck. You're thinking at least 3-1 as far as the RBIs to home runs. You know, 15 homers, you know, 45 driven in. JD Martinez in the middle of the lineup, or not middle of the lineup, but well, yeah, hitting fourth, 15 and 42. and you're thinking along those kind of lines. So you wonder if you're getting the bang for your buck with Betts up there in the leadoff spot. Although he's scored a ton of runs, and you can't argue with what this offense has done as a whole. But he's had trouble being up there at the plate with guys on.
Yeah, Betts' slugging percentage is .760 coming into this game. On base is .438. You look at the two of them, lead off and clean up, and Betts just top of the board all the way across.
And he's tied in home runs with JD Martinez. Tied for the major league lead.
And he checks in time. Count's going to go to 3-2.
Machado's got 15 with Baltimore.
And Benintendi on deck. Snyder will look up, and that one is out of here. Betts unloads on the 3-2 pitch and belts a 3-run home run.
Well, that's the ratio that we were talking about with Mookie Betts. Just didn't want to see it here in this series. But in a full count, he understands that with 2 men aboard, Faria has to be on the plate. And right there, you know, a slider cutter that just didn't do much of anything. He recognized it early, and you could see him turn it loose.
Andrew Benintendi, and the pitch is outside.
That was a great shot, you know, with those fingers on the side of the baseball. And you're trying to get over the top of that thing and get that break down and away. And that's called getting around the baseball, and that's what happens. It spins and stays true and right in the middle of the plate.
Yeah, you want it to break through a number of planes instead of stay on one.
Yep.
1-1 to Benintendi. It's out of play. 69th home run for Boston, and here's what you're talking about right there, BA.
Those fingers, you want to get over the top of that thing and rip down for that slider, and you see they stay on the side almost underneath it, and that just causes it to, that's called the cement mixer. It just spins and heads and stays true through the zone.
Fastball. Benintendi misses that one for the second time. He struck out twice on the fastball up. Looking his first time. This time swinging through it. Some of the numbers on the Mookie Betts home run coming right here. 103.8, 405 the distance.
Well, I'd like to get a stat cast on the speed of his swing. He's got one of the fastest bats in Major League Baseball.
And you see, that's why you see him take all these pitches that turn out to be balls. A lot of hitters, dare I say most hitters, may offer at those. He takes them.
Because his hands are so quick, he can let that ball travel just a hair farther. Pitch recognition, a little bit. He can let that ball come towards him a little bit longer than a lot of other guys because he trusts his hands, and he trusts his swing mechanics, but then his hands are so quick they cover everything. So
combination of great eyesight, quick hands, good discipline,
and it all works hand in hand. And so when you see him see a pitch like that, you know, he recognized that ball's spinning like a slider. It's not breaking like a slider, and you know, all of a sudden you fire those hands and that ball goes, and that's what he's been doing all season long for this offense.
It's fouled out of play. Well, the walk and the single. Well, you think about how close the Rays came to maybe getting a double play on the ball Bradley hit, then you're out of it. Out of the inning, you're hitting. Instead, 3 runs in for the opposition. And now you're dealing with Ramirez, and a little issue here with Faria. Kevin Cash out of the dugout. Faria ahead of Ramirez, 1 and 2, and if it's a side issue or not. Yeah, you're a good lip reader, aren't you?
It can't be. and what Joe Benji was telling him is like, you got to be honest with me. I mean, this is not something that the Rays want to mess around with their pitching staff, and so we want an honest assessment because, of course, Faria is going to want to stay in the game. I don't know if they particularly like that pitch.
Yeah, and you could see his reaction with that, and that's going to be it.
There was a definite grimace.
Yep. So that's not good news. Really the number 3 pitcher in the rotation, and he's going to leave here. Let's take a look at the prior pitch.
Something on that left side, and you could see the grimace right there. By the time Joe Benji and Kevin Cash had gotten out there, he said, you know, told him what he had felt. Maybe wasn't there at the time.
Yeah, and I think Benji's saying to him, you've got to be honest with me. I think that's the first thing that a manager, trainer, anyone has to establish with pitchers, because, you know, pitchers aren't always going to be truthful. You know that.
Because they want to stay in.
That's right. Well, a call to the bullpen, now brought to you by the Florida Lottery. good to have options. That's why the Florida Lottery has over 70 unique scratch-off games. So add a little play to your day with one of these new games. The Florida Lottery is your ticket. Claim it. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. Well, Austin Pruitt takes over for the injured Jake Faria. Faria departs with a side issue, and Pruitt's on for the 8th time with his record of 1-2. 45 pitches for Faria, 2 2/3, 3 hits, 3 runs, a walk, and a couple strikeouts. And here's a pitch down to Hanley Ramirez. Pruitt inheriting a 1-2 count. It's now 2-2. Well, at this point, no reason to speculate about the injury to Faria, other than there's something in there in the side that was an issue enough for him to leave and not take a chance on. 3-2 now to Ramirez. But you do wonder, you can't help but wonder now where the Rays go. Nathan Eovaldi is probably a minor league start away from being back in the Rays' big league plans. Now a walk to Ramirez with 3 straight pitches out of the zone. So the Rays are at least facing a situation where they're going to have to think about doing some more shuffling.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're going to have the combination of guys have to step up, number one, and number two, you know, the bullpen's going to be put under a little bit more stress, and it's kind of been the norm for them here the early first couple of months of this season. There's been a lot asked of them, and that will continue to be the case.
J.D. Martinez, he takes a pitch away.
Austin Pruitt's one of those guys that, you know, we've seen him in a relief role. We've seen him start some games. We know that he can, you know, give Kevin Cash multiple innings, 3, 4, 5 if need be.
Two and 0. That's 5 straight misses from Pruitt coming in an emergency appearance out of the bullpen. Pruitt worked last on Thursday, and now he's behind Martinez.
Well, he was trying to make the perfect pitch to put away Hanley Ramirez. Did not do that. And then here with J.D. Martinez, once you fall behind and he's not going out of the zone early on, you don't want to lay him, you know, a pitch in there on a 2-0 count that he can lambaste.
Well, a couple walks now. Martinez walks on 4 pitches. So back-to-back walks. Ramirez moves to second. Martinez takes over at first, and Xander Bogaerts going to be the hitter.
Kyle Snyder already has seen enough to go out there and offer some advice here to Austin Pruitt. You have that many misses in a row, and your pitching coach noticing something from the dugout and go out there and try to get you back on the right path, make the adjustment. Boy, the key against going up a lineup like this is to not give them too much credit. To realize if I make quality pitches, I don't care what your numbers are, and they're impressive, sure. But if I make my pitch and if I make quality pitches, I'm going to get you out. And there's that tendency at times to give a lineup a little bit too much credit, and then you find yourself nibbling. And that leads to bad counts and usually bad results.
Yeah, you start nibbling, and odds are you're going to fall behind. And Bogaerts has been ruthless against the Rays in the 9 games, hitting .457 with 11 runs batted in. That's almost half his RBI production for the year. That's a strike. Bogarts looks at strike one.
He has stayed true. You know, we mentioned, you know, in April when he was doing all that damage, how he was doing a much better job of getting the ball airborne, and he has continued that trend. The lowest ground ball percentage for him since 2014.
And a strike around the knees. 0-2.
A good meeting so far by Kyle Snyder.
Three-run home run. The big blow in this inning, the homer by Betts. Ball, 2 strikes. Almost covers up on the pitch down. And when you look at the Pruitt-Bogarts matchup, look at Ramos now. He's shaken up, and he's, you know, that right there, that thumb area, just a bad place for a catcher.
Well, you could see when he pulled off his glove, the catcher's mitt, and then all of a sudden he pulled that little brace off his thumb that he keeps. Yeah, it's like a hard, you know, plastic brace to keep that thumb protected. You can see it sticking out, and it hits right on the back of that, where we saw him get hit there a couple of times on the road trip, and it caused a couple of visits. Boom, boy, you could see him move it.
Well, this has the potential to be a costly inning for the Rays physically.
Boy, look at the bump.
Rays have lost their starting pitcher Faria in this inning. Pruitt on with walks to Ramirez and Martinez. And we have seen, as catchers do, we've seen Ramos take a beating back there.
You see Kevin Cash motioning for Sucre to start getting ready. This may not be looking very good. You know, Wilson wants to stay out there, but he's been getting beat up, and specifically that glove hand thumb.
Well, Ramos departing the field right now. And not happy with this injury.
You lose your battery before the third inning's out. Tough start here for the Rays.
Well, Faria gone, now Ramos gone. And here's that ball getting him on the left hand, the wrist area, just below the wrist on that thumb.
You know what's great about him too? As bad as that must have hurt, that initial pain off the back of that thumb, the first thing that he did was look for that ball. Where's the ball, and how can I keep guys from moving up?
So Jesus Sucre will take over for Ramos. So the Rays forced to remove Ramos with the injury.
How about the pitcher now? Austin Pruitt out there. It has to warm up Sucre.
Yeah. He'd been playing catch with Arroyo over there at third base just to stay somewhat loose, and now Sucre's got to get loosened up. And Pruitt's thinking he had trouble throwing a strike to Ramirez, and then he walked Martinez on 4 pitches. Got ahead of Bogarts 1-2, and now this delay. Ready to resume. Two outs in the inning. 3 runs home on the Mookie Betts home run. Bogarts pops it up. Foul ball right side. Thrown near the stands. Runs out of room and into the low wall. He's all right, and the ball out of his reach.
That's such a tough angle to play for these infielders. You got to keep your eye on the ball. We know that because of the roof. And then you get that odd angled low wall. And just when he thinks he's going to get there, you end up coming up on it. You're able to slide down a little further. Maybe you can reach back and make that play. But eyes cannot leave the baseball for everybody.
The cap a glove does not make. And so here's Bogarts with a count still 1-2. And he says he's hit by the pitch. Just barely got Bogarts. He immediately turned to the plate umpire, Adam Hamari, who agreed with him.
Well, he came close to getting hit his last time up. This is a breaking ball that backs up and just, I guess, took off a hair or two off that elbow.
Yeah, no wax needed. The ball removed a couple of those follicles, at least the hair out of the follicles.
I could take a few of those every Monday morning.
So the bases are loaded, and here's Rafael Devers. This one is fouled back. Devers, the number 9 hitter coming up in this inning. 6th in their overall lineup. Oh, 2. Popped into shallow center. Malik Smith coming in. He's got it to retire the side. 9 men come to the plate. They leave 3. They score 3. It's 3-0 Boston. Get in on the action with this exclusive on-field seating in the Papa John's bullpen box. Host your group in this private party area just steps from the Rays bullpen. Reserve the Papa John's bullpen box by contacting Group Sales at 888-FAN-RAYS or email groupsales@raysbaseball.com. First pitch, Daniel Robertson looks at a strike. Robertson popped out to Ramirez down at first. In the first, fouls this fastball away, straight back into the screen, 0-2. Foul back. Fastball a little bit more on that one. Up to 96.
Yeah, he's been sitting up at the upper end of his range with that velocity, 96 to 98. Now has been given here a 3-run lead to work with.
That hits him. Robertson hit by a pitch on an 0-2 count. So the Rays put the leadoff hitter aboard for the second straight time. See what they can do to chip away at this 3-run deficit.
Oh, that's what they need. And they get a gift here, 0-2. That almost split the legs. They got the back of the right heel of Daniel Robertson as he almost threw that breaking ball right between Robertson's legs.
C.J. Cron. Sliders in there for a strike. Cron, who struck out on a 98-mile-per-hour fastball in the first, now 0 for 14 in his career against Sale. Shoots this one into center field. Well tagged. Bradley to the track. He's going to make the catch. Robertson caught around second base, and he's going to be doubled up at first. Bradley went back there to get that long drive, and the Red Sox double up Robertson. Cron hit the ball a long way, and Robertson found himself with no place to go.
And Daniel Robertson got caught assuming, and you're assuming when C.J. Cron makes solid contact like that, that ball's going to be either over the head of Bradley Jr. or over the wall. And so Daniel Robertson, contact, and he's gone. I mean, he sold out for extra bases, and once it was caught, way too far to get all the way back.
So 8-6-3 on the double play. Well struck, but Bradley went to get it on the track. Matt Duffy, this one all the way to the backstop. Fastball. 97, if you're the hitter, you're not quite sure what to think now.
Let's take a look. Whoa.
He got under that one a little bit. And then back with a strike on the corner right there.
Yeah, you backdoor a slider that's off the plate the entire path to the plate and then catches the outside edge. Good luck.
And again, 2-1 now. Tap, grabbed by Sale. Take his time on the toss to first, and the Rays are quickly out in the third. We'll go to the fourth. 3-0 Boston.
With the Red Sox leading the Rays 3-0, and you always hear about the dads throwing the baseballs and catching the baseballs with their sons. Well, Christian Arroyo took a little bit of a different route to the major leagues. He gives the lion's share of credit to this lady right here. I'm here with Christian's mom, Kim. Good to have you here at Tropicana Field. I know you've been through this once before last year when he made his major league debut with the Giants. Why is tonight different?
It's different because we're home. It's exciting. We get to be here where a lot of our friends are here, and his old coach is here, and I've seen a lot of his old teammates from when he was a young boy, and so it's been really exciting.
You've been the most popular person in the stands tonight. I've been standing here getting ready to do this interview with you, and about a dozen people have stopped over to give you a kiss and a hug and congratulations. It must be really special.
It is really special. It's nice seeing everybody. It's like a reunion.
Well, we are glad that he's up with the big club, and we're glad that you're here to celebrate with him.
Well, thank you very much. We're excited to be here.
That's Kim Drummond, mom of Christian Arroyo. She taught him everything that he knows, guys.
Yeah, and I'm sure she's also proud of his GPA in high school. Calculus was one of his favorite subjects. He had a 4.4. Fly ball into shallow left. Ref Snyder's there to handle that one, and that's the first out. Nunez retired.
I always wondered about the GPAs, because, you know, it was always like a 4.0 is the best that you were going to get.
Yeah.
And now you see, you know, extra credit, people creeping up there, honors classes perhaps.
That's it.
I always likened it to like giving 110%. You know, that's not possible. I didn't think a 4.4 was possible, but apparently it is.
Yeah, well, you don't want to limit your possibilities.
No.
So go for the impossible. I mean, combined, we might have had a 4.4, you think?
Yeah, that would have kept both of us eligible. 2-2 each.
1 ball, no strikes to count on Sandy Leon. Fastball by him.
All you needed, Dwayne, was a 2.0. A little bit of skill and a 2.0, and you were good to go.
There you go. Strike over the inside edge. Now 1 and 2.
I think you get a 2.0 just for showing up.
I know some people who managed to accomplish that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're in the 4th. Bradley Jr. on deck. Strike 3 call. Leon out on strikes.
Well, you could feel that coming. You knew that was going to be a very well located fastball there by Pruitt, but also you combine that with Adam Hamari looking to call these strikes, stay behind it, keep it right on the edge, maybe a hair off, and forget it.
Two up, 2 down. Jackie Bradley Jr. reached on what turned out to be an infield hit in the 3rd. Off the bat, it appeared that it might be a double play, but the Rays could not make that happen. It would have been a good play down at first, but the possibility was there. Now a base hit shot through the middle. No question about that one, and Bradley is 2 for 2.
You know, and the Rays as a staff have had a lot of success against Jackie Bradley Jr. throughout his career. But 2 for 2 here tonight. He's in the middle of the field, that ball in the inner 3rd, and he's able to stay through it and right back up the middle. He had him played nicely, but he found a little opening.
Well, here's the difference in the game. Mookie Betts, who hit his 16th home run of the year in the 3rd, came with 2 men aboard. It's a strike on the outside corner. Here's the home run pitch and the home run.
Well, got a full count breaking ball that just stayed in the middle of the plate and deposited it into left field. Lead.
Into the dirt, and a nice pickup there by Sucre. Bradley Jr. extending the lead a little bit there, and a nice stop by Sucre.
They would like nothing else but to get into scoring position, although with Betts at the plate, he's in scoring position now.
Yeah, we saw that in the third inning. Now time, the runner started. Time was called, so Bradley apparently was going to be on the move.
Tip in his hand. Would be another good opportunity to run here, and the Red Sox as a team, they will do that. They've been successful, third in the American League in stolen bases.
Yeah, they're 32 out of 40 running.
Yeah, they're picking their spots very well. You combine that with what they've been able to do with the long ball this season, much improved from a year ago. They're running a lot of different ways to hurt you.
It's down. Yeah, last year they were at the bottom in the American League in home runs. 168 home runs for this team a year ago. The first time they finished last in the American League in home runs since 1930. And second in the league in home runs right now. Liner into center field. Malik Smith is there to catch it. A hit, a man left, no runs. Bottom half of the fourth. It will be middle of the order coming up for the Rays.
The bottom of the fourth, and the last half inning for the Rays at the plate, a couple of times a battery mate went down. First it was Jake Faria. He is now being diagnosed with a left oblique strain, and then his battery mate Wilson Ramos went down not soon after that. A left hand contusion. They say Ramos is day to day, and that is why Jesus Sucre is up to lead off the bottom of the fourth, boys.
Now Sucre goes into the leadoff spot vacated by Ramos on that day-to-day injury. First pitch, and he takes ball one, does Sucre.
When was the last time that you've seen a pitcher and his catcher come out with injuries in the same half inning?
I can't recall off the top of my head that I've seen that. Certainly not recently. One and two on Sucre. Well, the Rays had to get a little creative. Adames is up here. Congratulations to Joey and Lindsay Wendell. They had a baby boy, and Joey not with the club. Adames up as a result. 2-2 the count on Sucre. He's out on strikes. That brings up Willie Adames.
Well, let's take a look at a scouting report on Mr. Adames. He's making his major league debut. Smooth operator, and that's what you hear about him out in the field. You know, an athletic shortstop, smooth movements, good lateral agility, soft hands, good arm, and can handle the bat. You know, hit 277 with an on base of 360 a season ago in Durham, and this year has it up to a 311 average. 387 on base percentage, just 4 home runs, but there's the feeling that the power is emerging, that there is more there as far as the long ball goes.
Want to know the count against Sale? There's a high fly ball back into deep left. Benintendi's going to watch it go. Home run! First big league hit for Adames. A home run. That's another thing the Rays like about him. They like his attitude, his work ethic, his aptitude, great hands in the field, and some pop in that bat. And a happy dugout for him. Home run off Chris Sale to strike for the first time in the big leagues.
Boy, and you energize that dugout too, get these guys back engaged in this ball game. What a job by Willie Adames. You know, had a good at bat his first time up. Struck out on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball that was in, but it was a good battle that he put up against Chris Sale, and then is able to come back and get him in his second AB.
1-2 to Johnny Field.
As that power continues to emerge.
Stays wide, 2-2. Well, some pop out of the number 5 spot provided by Willie Adames in his first major league home run. It stays outside, 3-2. Adames was hitting .311 at AAA Durham with 4 home runs and 25 runs batted in. And picks up his first big league hit in the 4th inning, a home run off Chris Sale. Now a liner, but it's going to be right to Ramirez down at first. And Field, who had lined a base hit to left in the second, is out here on a liner to first. Here's another look at the home run.
Changeup that just stayed middle and thigh high. Not fooled a bit.
Kristen Arroyo, which is a strike. It's up the right side, foul beyond the bullpen. Four strikeouts for Sale, 2 coming in the first inning. We're in the bottom of the 4th. And that is strike 3 to retire the side. 1 run for the Rays. It comes on 1 swing of the bat from Willie Adames. His first big league home run, his first big league hit. And the Rays close to within 2, 3-1. close the gap to 2 in a 3-1 game now. Austin Pruitt on in relief of Jake Faria. The Rays losing their battery in the same inning in the 3rd. Now here's Benintendi lofting a fly ball to left. Red Snyder's going to have room on the track. 1 away. Let's take another look at the blast by Willy Adames and the pitch from Sale.
You can see the changeup grip, and it's kind of floating middle up and launched an absolute no-doubter.
107.1 velocity. But it's a nice swing. Of course, I guess every home run swing looks really nice, but that's a classic swing right there.
Well, I think even when you combine it in the at-bat that he struck out, it was a good battle, and he had some good swings at some high velocity heaters that were crowding him on the inner part of the plate.
Oh, 2 on Hanley Ramirez. A ball, 2 strikes. In the top half of the 5th. Chopper handled by Robertson at second. So 2 up, 2 down in the 5th inning.
And so far so good for Austin Pruitt here as he tries to keep the Rays within striking distance in this ball game.
Yeah, he's settled in nicely after that emergency entrance he made. He inherited a 1-2 count on Ramirez and wound up putting him on base via a walk. He walked J.D. Martinez on 4 pitches and then hit Bogarts and got out of that. Gave up 1 hit, no runs in the 4th, and the first 2 men out here in the 5th.
You always wonder, too, when you come into a game in the manner in which he did, if you're truly ready when you say you are. You know, you're out there warming up on the field for all to see, for everybody to watch. When do you ever do that, you know, prior to that? I still think that they should allow you to warm up in the bullpen, so you're not out there throwing all your pitches for the opposing team to sit there and watch as you get loose. And then there's also that feeling of everybody wants to get the game started again. Maybe you rush yourself a little too quickly and you're not truly ready.
Martinez out in front of that one, chasing it.
And it didn't appear to be that he was. When you recap what he came in, 4 straight balls in a 1-2 count, or 3 straight balls in a 1-2 count, then 4 straight for another walk, then a hit by pitch.
Yep.
Not exactly locked in, but he's been very good since.
Upstairs, a fastball a little bit high. It's 1-2. J.D. Martinez making a big difference in the middle of the Boston lineup. Lifts it into right. Johnny Field back and angling to his left. A 1-2-3 5th. We're through 4.5. 3-1 Boston. Good enough to don a microphone for us. He's down there spending some time with Willie Adames now. Let's hear from some of his conversation earlier.
What's going on? Did kid talk to you?
Good motherfucking hog, man. You don't like me?
No, I don't. You need to go. You need to hit. I know. He flew in today. Got in at 6:30. Well, got here at 6:30. About time. About time you do something.
Ozzie Timmons. He was originally drafted by the Cubs and spent some time with the Devil Rays. Was here in 2000 and a lot of time in the Rays minor league system. He's been a valuable fellow to have. First pitch is a strike to Refsnyder as a player and a coach, and now in his first year at the major league level. Here's Refsnyder shooting one into left field. Back goes Benintendi. That's going to be over his head. Refsnyder's on his way to second. He's in there with a double. Leadoff two-base hit for Rob Refsnyder.
Boy, it looked like Andrew Benintendi, too, had a chance on that ball. It ends up getting over his head. But the way that he was going back on it is the kind of body language that you're expecting a guy to make that play. And Refsnyder gets a fastball here in the middle, jumps on it, and able to hit it well enough that you see Benintendi starts going back, and right here you're like, okay, he's going to be able to run this down, and then not so much. Well, he's talking to Jackie Bradley Jr. out there. A bit of a misread, maybe.
Alex Smith shortens on the bat. That pitch is a strike. Well, let's see if the Rays can take advantage of this. They have the leadoff man on base and in scoring position. Field open to second with a single, and Robertson hit by a pitch in the third. Now double by Refsnyder to lead off the fifth. Again, Alex shortens on the bat, takes it for a ball. It's 1-1.
Well, the Rays acknowledging that, first of all, this is a tough matchup. You know, Smith on Sale, number one. Number two, what Chris Sale has been able to do with runners in scoring position. He has really clamped down in these types of situations. So you think about bunting him over to third, play small ball, get him in, continue to chip away.
Ooh, look out, up and in, and again, it shortened and did not offer as he got out of the way. They went down to Phil Cuzzy to confirm that he did not offer at that pitch.
Square around here, and yeah, nothing like facing Chris Sale, literally. And here comes a pitch up near the dome.
Yeah, I don't think he could have offered at that if he really wanted to. 95 up and in. He's just trying to be evasive of that pitch. He bunts it, and it's a popper fair, caught by Devers. So he was bunting the whole time, trying to get on, and pops out.
Yeah, not only is he a tough matchup as a hitter, but even when you're trying to bunt, there's so much action on his pitches. And this one just can't angle the bat and get that ball down on the ground. Easy play for Devers to make, and he's not able to advance that base runner just yet.
So Refsnyder's at second. One gone, top of the order, and the ball bounds away. Leon cannot find it immediately. And over to third, Refsnyder advances standing up.
Well, it's just like the bunt worked. You get him over to third now. That was a case of Sandy Leon trying to keep the glove at the bottom of the strike zone, in the zone, and catch that ball to try to give his pitcher a strike. You see him go down there and just try to grab it in the webbing of that glove. And he just whiffed it. Too much break on it. He's trying to get, you see him, he was even bringing the glove up just a little bit to try to present it well to Hamari. Ends up giving the Rays 90 feet.
Well, a pass ball charged to Leon, first of the year charged against him. Robertson take for ball two. Well, one out with a man at third, and the Rays have a chance here to try to trim this deficit to a run. 2-1. C.J. Cron on deck. There's a high fly ball back into left. Benintendi's going to go to the track up in front of the wall. Makes the catch. Rev Snyder tags and scores, and the Rays do make it a one-run ball game. Robertson a little short of the fence there, but a pretty good ride. And a sacrifice fly to pick up his 16th run batted in.
Boy, looked promising off the bat, that's for sure. And we know Daniel Robertson has got some power. But regardless, you end up chipping away and getting that run in. Fastball working its way up and in. He gets the barrel to it, just doesn't catch it as clean as he needed to, but clean enough to make this a 3-2 game.
C.J. Cron takes a strike. Cron hit a ball in the third inning that looked pretty good off the bat. It turned out it was a double play fly ball with Robertson doubled off first when the ball was caught by Bradley Jr. in center. Did he go? A check, says Bellino. Two balls, one strike. Now it's even. That will take care of the Rays in the fifth. But they get a run, and at the end of 5, it's 3-2 Boston. Runs in the third on the Mookie Betts home run. They'll have Bogarts leading off the 6th. The pitch is a strike on the outside part of the plate. Bogarts, then Devers in his left-handed bat, followed by Eduardo Nunez. Pop to the right side. Out goes Robertson. Field coming in toward the line. He's got it. That is out number 1. This is how we got here. That home run by Betts is 16th of the year. Belted a slider 405 feet off Jake Faria. And then Willie Adames hit his first big league home run, his first major league hit on the Chris Sale changeup. Sacrifice fly by Daniel Robertson. Rob Refsnyder home. He had opened that inning with a double. Wound up scoring to make it 3-2, and that's how we stand in the 6th. Want to know the count to Rafael Devers. Devers retired in the 2nd inning on a nice play by Field out there in right. He hit a fly ball into center caught by Malik Smith in the 3rd. Back and out of play it goes. 2-1. Three balls and a strike. Well, a couple of walks, a hit batter. And a 2-out single in the 5th allowed by Pruitt. Nunez on deck. 3-1 the count to Devers. Takes a big cut. Got a little bit of it to foul it.
Got a little bit of Sucre too. And the Rays already down a catcher with Wilson Ramos.
Yeah, be careful there. The Rays could run out of catchers.
See how he's protecting the throwing arm, you know, tucking it behind the body, but that one gets him right up in that clavicle shoulder area. Padding or not, you're going to feel it.
That's a shot down the right side. That's got depth, length, and distance, and gone. Devers on a 3-2 pitch makes it a 2-run game with his 9th home run of the year. (4-2) now.
Red Sox able to get one of those runs back. Looked like that ball cut right into the swing of Devers. That changeup and meant for it. You could see Sucre sitting on the outer half and down. It ends up being yanked across the plate right into that swing of Rafael Devers.
This pitch, Nunez takes it wide. 1 ball, no strikes. A tapper foul. 1-1. It's out to shortstop. Comes up on Adames. He makes the throw to first for the 2nd out. 2 gone. Well, trust your gut, pick the right player, and get one step closer to winning $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak in the App Store or on MLB.com/BTS. Leon has a walk and a run scored. Called out on strikes in the 4th inning. And it's 1-0. Popped up. Will it stay playable? Headed toward the stands, and that's going to be a foul ball, but in front of the camera well, the far end of the dugout.
You know, I don't know if Christian Arroyo saw that. He looked over at Willie Adames and pointed to his eyes, kind of like he lost sight of it, because that ball hit certainly in an area that it could have been caught.
Yep. Might have been interesting to see if he could get there with a full head of steam. Had a shot.
Yeah.
And the ball is playable. 1-2. Yeah, we've seen some issues, and he's looking up there now, trying to figure out how to prevent that again. Strike 3 call. Academic now. Leon caught looking. A run on the home run. It's a 2-run game, 4-2 Boston. Memorial Day sales event going on now in all El Dorado furniture showrooms and by your local Ford dealers. Phil Devers a homer in the top of the inning to again give Boston a 2-run lead. Duffy takes a strike to begin the home half of the 6th. Sucre next, and then Adames. Foul out of play, 0-2. Ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball, 3rd. Devers makes the throw to 1st. 1 away. Rays tonight with a couple runs. Sucre took over for Wilson Ramos behind the plate in the 3rd inning. Had a plate appearance in the 4th and struck out. And takes a ball here in the 6th inning.
And the Rays have been able to put a base runner on in each inning here against Chris Sale, so they've given themselves some chances to get something going. And that's what you got to keep believing in. Keep pushing, keep pressuring.
Sucre trying to catch up there, could not. It's 1-2.
Chris Sale has that pitch count pretty good order at 78 right now, and you know he's one of those guys with big strikeout numbers, but is quite efficient. Doesn't waste a lot.
Well, in this game, the other side of that, he's walked only 1. Walked only 15 in 10 starts coming into this game. Roller to short. Bogarts makes the throw to Ramirez. 2 up and 2 down. Our Toyota inside look. Home run by Willie Adames here for his first big league hit in his first game. And in Rays history, Brent Abernathy did that in 2001. Delman Young in 06. Elijah Dukes against the Yankees in 07. Brandon Guyer against the Orioles. And tonight, Willie Adames in the 4th inning against Chris Sale. 1 strike to count in this at bat. Two. So Guyer did it here at Tropicana Field, and so has Adames tonight. This one is a swing and a miss. Adames out on strikes. Yeah, Guyer hit his in Baltimore, so Adames hit his here at the Trop.
Because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
Willie Adames making his major league debut tonight at shortstop is 1 for 3. Has hit a home run. So it's 4-2 as we go to the 7th inning. Adames and Robertson with the runs batted in for the Rays. Jackie Bradley Jr. will lead off here in the 7th. He's 2 for 2 tonight. One ball, no strikes. Ball 2, 2-0. Bradley Jr. came into the game hitting 165 overall. He's had a tough time against Rays pitching, but a couple hits and a run scored tonight. And he's ahead 3-0. Top of the order, Betts next, and then Benintendi. So you really want to keep this guy off the bases. That was strike, 3-1.
And Boston has too many options. If Bradley Jr. is able to reach, you can put him in motion. You've got Betts at the plate already.
Ground ball, bobble, picked up, and the toss to first. Robertson to Crone. So Pruitt comes back to get Bradley Jr. Time now for the Lowe's whole team together. Take a look at the list. Team batting average, the major league leaders coming into play. The Red Sox topping the major league list with a team average of 270. The Rays 264. Braves over in the National League also at 264. followed by the Giants and the Pirates. So the Rays second in the major leagues in batting average, second in on-base percentage, 11th in runs scored coming in. It's kind of been feast or famine that way for the Rays. The 0-1 chopped to the left side, glove by Arroyo, and the play will not materialize. No throw there, no chance as it turned out to get Betts. A bounding ball slowly hit, tough to get that guy on.
And this is a guy with a 3-run homer earlier in the game. He leads Major League Baseball in home runs, and then he gets you this way. And that's what makes him such a dynamic player. Power, speed, ability to hit for average, take a walk. He runs well, 11 out of 13 in the stolen base department. No play.
6 hits for Boston. Runner on with 1 out for Benintendi. He ducks that pitch up and in. Getting out of the way.
Now, Austin Pruitt can cut his fastball. It will at times cut, kind of like Jake Farias will cut from time to time. And this one almost cut it right into the ear flap. Ball just keeps boring in. How in the world it misses that shoulder right up over top of it?
Over to first, back in goes Betts. Betts 11 of 13 in the steal department. Keeping an eye on Betts. There's a strike, 1-1. Pruitt in relief of Jake Faria, who left with a left oblique strain. That was in the 3rd inning. Two and one. Swing and a tap foul. 2-2. Well, tomorrow on Rays Live, the pregame show presented by your local Honda dealers, and a marquee pitching matchup. It will be David Price against Chris Archer, and our coverage begins at 6:30. That could be fun. Over to first. Betts back in. Ground ball right side. Robertson gets the lead man at second, back to first. Nicely done on the 4-6-3 double play. Started by Robertson. Adames in the middle. 7th inning stretch time at the ballpark, and we'll take a look at the Rays turning 2 as we go to break. 4-2 ball game. Tall lefty Chris Sale out of Lakeland. The AARP take on the Boston starter. 3 seasons at the Florida Gulf Coast University. Just 29 years old. Won 17 games last year, 4-1 so far this year. This is his 11th start. The Rays trailed by 2, sending Johnny Field to open the home half of the 7th. Little tap back to the mound. Field is out of there.
You know, he's one of those rare commodities that you find that has the overpowering stuff and a good mix to go along with it. You know, with the slider, the break on that pitch, the deception, the pure power on the fastball, a good changeup to go along with it, and he knows how to pitch. He doesn't just try to outstuff you.
Christian Arroyo. So the strike.
That's what truly makes a guy elite. You know, you think about Justin Verlander. I mean, the overpowering, dominant stuff, but he understands pitching, understands how to set up a hitter.
Yeah. I mean, he's great to watch, and you have great respect for him. You just hate that he pitches against you.
Yes. Yes.
Up and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. You just see it in him, that great competitive desire he has. He's ready to compete and command of his pitches. And, you know, here's 96 if he wants, 98. He's got that too.
He'll add and subtract. He'll change eye levels.
2-2 to Arroyo. Oh, count is full. Fastball missed. Christian's mother here looking on. What a thrill it has to be for that family. And strike 3 call. How about that? You talk about command of his stuff. 3-2 slider.
Well, wasn't comfortable with that fastball. Missed with those 3 of them. And then how about the slider right there? Starts it off the plate away and snaps that thing all the way to the inside corner. Sometimes it's just, it doesn't seem to be fair. That good.
Here's Rob Snyder. Rob Snyder. His leadoff double in the 5th led to the 2nd run. He's helped out by a pass ball in that inning. And a fly ball by Robertson got the run home. Now it's 2-0. Swing on a pitch wide. 3-0. Now a strike. 3-1. Malik Smith on deck. And ball 4. Rev Snyder draws the walk. Duffy walked in the 1st, and now Sale gives up a 7th inning walk. 2-out pass here. More on Chris Sale as he stacks up in the American League. Not surprising, 2nd in the league in strikeouts, 4th in ERA and opponent's batting average.
He had not given up more than 3 runs in any one of his 10 starts, and in fact had given up 1 earned or no earned in 6 of his 10 coming in. I mean, that's just absolute dominance, and those numbers back that up. Who in the world is in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in some of those categories? I'm going to guess it's Garrett Cole, Justin Verlander.
That's right. Just pick the Astros staff. I mean, plug them in.
Charlie Morton. How about what they're doing?
How about Dallas Keuchel over there? He's like an afterthought now.
Oh, he's got a 3.43
yeah,
run
I mean,
average.
oh my
Dwayne.
goodness. I mean, as
Serving
great
up
as he's been.
meatballs.
I mean,
Yeah, no, it's astounding what that staff's doing.
yeah. Yeah, there's something else. Jazz Rowe up in the bullpen. And strike 3. Cut and a miss. A walk and a man left. On to the 8th, 4-2 Boston.
Time to check in with our Chevy Farm report. Tonight we feature Diego Castillo, big 6'3", 240-pound right-hand pitcher for the Durham Bulls. His second season in AAA. Guys, get this, just 2 earned runs allowed in 16 appearances. More depth on this Rays organization.
Well, they have long said pitching is the name of the game. And if you don't have that, you're in trouble. And the Rays figure out a way to have pitching.
They do. I mean, they have been able to draft and develop guys coming through the system. It seems every year there's a couple more names on their way.
Ramirez chops it to second. Robertson's toss over there in time to Crone to get Hanley Ramirez.
They're going to need all of them, and maybe then some this season.
Yeah.
I mean, they have been challenged, number one, by kind of the way that they're going about their business, but the injuries have really hurt. And obviously, Faria coming out tonight is not good.
They thought they were going to have Evaldi to start the year in the rotation. Last minute, they didn't have him, still don't. He may be an outing away from rejoining the Major League club here. And with what happened tonight with Faria, they can certainly use a good, strong, experienced arm.
Think about even in the minor leagues, De Leon and Honeywell. There's more depth on the starting side that you've lost.
Johnny Venters loosens in the bullpen.
And yet somehow this team continues to hang around and be relevant.
Down to third, Arroyo throws a strike to first. 2 up and 2 down. Never know what's going to happen. You've got 3/4 of the season to go. And this first 25% has really been interesting. It's been a streaky ball club. Got off to that terrible start, then put together a great run. Struggled a little bit again. Then they've had another run for Kevin Cash. I'll say this has been an interesting team to be around and watch. It's actually been a fun team. If you just want to follow a team, the ups and downs, the exploits of a club over a season, this has been a pretty good team to do that with. Bogarts takes a strike. And the other thing, these young players, you get Adames up here. Plans are he's not going to be here for an extended period. Arroyo comes in. Robertson has developed this year. We've got young players who feel as if there's a place for them. They kind of fit, and they've been productive, and the way they go about their game has been impressive. I don't think I've seen one who seems lost up here. Sometimes that happens, a little overwhelmed to begin with. They've come up here with an idea, whether it's in the field or at the plate.
Yeah, you're right. Well prepared, hungry. That's the way I kind of like to describe this team. Hungry, blue collar.
Yep.
We've already been brainstorming, coming up with some ideas on some, you know, what do you call it? Promotional.
Little marketing and stuff for this. Yeah, that's kind of a blue collar soul to this team. I like that.
And I like some of the commercial content that we've potentially come up with.
This little sideline, little pop up inside the infield. Robertson from second handles that. It's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Pruitt in the 8th. Top of the order coming up for the Rays.
Well, Chris Sale here tonight has been everything that we thought he would be. His number against the Rays has been very good, and Rays have been able to get to him for, a couple of runs, just one earned, but, the 9 strikeouts and doing a great job again with the fastball. We saw that velocity early in the game way up there, 96 to 98 right out of the gate. The slider to both sides of the plate. He sprinkled in some changeups and done just enough to keep his team out in front here as we head into the 8th.
Top of the order for the Rays, Daniel Robertson. And the first pitch, he drops that one in there. Slider for a strike. Action in both bullpens. Joe Kelly, who's been doing a great job out of the bullpen. Up now for Boston. There he is. Ryan Stanek, the hard-throwing right-hander, up in the Rays bullpen. Two back with a fastball. Now 1-2 count. Close there. Robertson hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Drove in a run with a sacrifice fly to left in the 5th. Officially nothing out of 1. It into play down to short. Bogarts makes the throw. 1 out here in the 8th. C.J. Cron. Cron looking for his first hit of the night. Got hold of one in the 3rd inning. Drove it deep to center, but Bradley went back to the track and made the catch, and in fact doubled Robertson off first base. Pitch is up. 1-1 to count. And that pitch close to him, almost hit him. It's 2-1. Now it's 3-1. Three and two now. See another 3-2 pitch, fouling that one off. Pitch count 109. One out into the eighth. His high pitch count this year 116, and now he's at 110, so this will be his second highest pitch count. He had 116 on the road against Toronto 2 starts ago.
How about taking a no decision in that game?
Yeah, and 15 strikeouts.
No walks in 9 innings, and you get nothing.
Hot shot, look out down there. Ball into and out of the stands. Well, you know you're going to run into a tough customer out there on the hill when Chris Sale gets the pitching nod against you, and the Rays have done that tonight. 2 runs, 4 hits, a couple of walks, a hit batter, and a popper on the left side. Devers at third handles this one. So an extended at bat, and out comes Cora. Pitch count 112 right now for Sale. Bases empty, 2 gone. 7 2/3 tonight for Sale. Call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. By your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By the Florida Department of Transportation, drive sober or get pulled over. And by your local Honda dealer. Rays back home, opening this series against Boston. They're down 4-2. Their Sale out after 112 pitches, 7 2/3. 2 runs, only 1 earned.
Well, got deep into the game and gave Alex Cora probably more than what he had hoped for here tonight. 1 earned and 9 strikeouts, just 2 walks. Gives way to Joe Kelly. Putting together a nice season, more strikeouts than innings pitched. That opponent average jumps out at you, 153.
Matt Duffy will face him. Takes a 98-mile-per-hour fastball high. Well, 18 of Kelly's last 19 outings have been scoreless. And over that stretch, an ERA of 0.43. 1-1. Upstairs, Kelly has limited to right-handed hitters to a .231 average. Lefties are only 2 for 33 against him. 2 for 33. Look at that. 0-61. That's ball 3. A check by Duffy. Sucre is on deck.
Good check there by Matt Duffy to get this count fully in his corner at 3-1. You can try to turn one loose here out of the zone, take your walk, get the tying run to the plate.
And that's a called strike on the corner. Fastball. All the way out it goes. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
97 puts it in a good spot. Duffy will get another chance here, though.
Duffy walked in the first. Couple of ground outs since then. Stanek up in the bullpen. And strike 3 call. 98 on the outside corner. A dandy pitch there by Kelly. Take another look at that one as we head into the 9th through 8. 4-2 Boston. Rays in the opening game of this series. Coming up, Rays Live, the post game presented by WB Mason. Rich and Orestes anchoring the coverage. Kevin Cash along with the manager's post game press conference. Minor league update from around the Rays farm system. We've seen Willie Adames emerge from the minor leagues and make his major league debut tonight, picking up his first big league hit, a home run in the 4th inning of this game. In the 9th, Ryan Stanek takes over. Good job by Pruitt, 5 1/3, and Stanek's first pitch, a fastball at 99 off the mitt of Sucre and to the backstop, 1-0 to Devers.
Yeah, and that's one of those performances of Austin Pruitt that gets kind of lost in a game like this. You talk about Chris Sale, you talk about the injury to Faria and to Ramos, and absolutely you should. But Austin Pruitt comes in and does that kind of a job to give his team a chance, and that really just can't go unnoticed.
It's a strike, 2-1. Greg Kimbrel, the closer for the Red Sox, loosening down the left field line. 3-1 now. And it was a 1-run ball game until Devers homered in the 6th to make it 4-2. Nunez on deck. Stanek back up from AAA. And he walks the first man he faces. Fastball 98, gives up ball 4. Leadoff man on. And for our Bonefish Grill fresh catch of the game, let's go back to Johnny Fields on this fly ball to right in the 2nd inning. A nice grab there off the ball hit by Devers. Sliding grab. Devers has walked here to open the 9th. The slider stays up and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Open in again. 98. It's 2-0, and Kyle Snyder's going to head to the mound. Well, only 1 strike thrown here by the Rays right-hander since coming into this game.
Yeah, and a lot of fastballs that up and out of the zone. Pulling off just a little bit as he starts downhill, and he's a big guy. You know, there's some moving parts there as far as size and length, and as he's coming downhill, pulling off some of these pitches.
Well, Stanek appeared in the game Saturday in Anaheim. The Rays beat the Angels 5-3. Stanek came on, gave up a single to Cozart, and then that home run to Mike Trout on a 99-mile-per-hour fastball, 99 plus. Swing and a miss. Nunez airing it out a little bit. It's 2-1. I think that fastball that Trout hit out was 99.3, 99.4,
yeah,
something like that.
Absolutely.
Hardest fastball that he'd ever hit for a home run. Adames, Robertson, and over to Crone, 6-4-3. So Stanek able to come back and throw the double play ball to Nunez and erase that leadoff walk.
A good visit there by Kyle Snyder, and a much prettier turn here by the Rays middle infield. Nice toss here. Adames to Robertson, across, completed to Crone.
Sandy Leon. Ball ball, no strikes. One ball, one strike. Kimbrel ready in the bullpen. Into the dirt. Everybody bailing there, including Adam Hamari. And it's 2-1. Ball hit the dirt. He said, "That's a ball. I'm getting out of here."
Yeah, he hit the dirt, and you know what? He's going to take some ribbing for that one. I mean, like he stole something.
He done his job. It's a ball. Now he's vacating.
Easy call.
3-1.
Good job by Sucre though.
Yeah,
you know,
it certainly was. Leon scored a run when he walked in the third. He scored on the 3-run home run by Betts, and there's a towering shot. That ball is off the second ring and falls back onto the field. That was a fair ball up there and off the B ring, and that's a high single.
Yeah, easy call, Dwayne. It hit, a few feet. You can see where they dropped the little yellow tags up there right here to let you know what. Well, come on, Gare. There we go. Gare Bear right there. And anything to the left of that, obviously over in here is where it hit. That's going to be a fair ball. Hit it hard enough, it bounced all the way back towards almost to second base.
So Leon, Sandy Leon has himself a base hit. Now Jackie Bradley Jr. 99, and that's a strike. The yellow marker adjacent to the B ring there. Just the slider trying to hold up. Strike two. Seven hits in this game for Boston now. That is down and in. And a check by Bradley Jr. Way up 2-2. Standing here in the ninth inning with the Rays trailing. He can be unnerving to some of these hitters as hard as he throws, and sometimes you're not quite sure where. Not an easy at bat, not a comfortable one anyway. And he's gone from being ahead of Bradley now to go 3-2 on it.
Well, you might as well just continue to sell it and go with the Wild Thing glasses, put the tape in the middle, just play it out. You've got a huge arm. It's just a matter of getting that thing under control, polish up the secondary pitches.
3-2, strike three call on the outside corner, upper part of the zone at 98. Rays in the ninth. We'll have Sucre, Adames, and Field due up. Banquet timeless moment. Willie Adames getting to the ballpark. A quick change into and out of the clubhouse, in uniform, in the dugout, up here at bat in the 4th inning. He hits a home run in his 2nd big league at bat, his 1st big league hit. And oh, by the way, it comes off Chris Sale. We got the Rays on the board initially, and they go into the bottom of the 9th inning, where he will hit 2nd, and the Rays need a couple to keep it going. Sucre to lead off, and then Adames and Field, and any deeper Christian Arroyo would get another opportunity. It's not going to be easy with Craig Kimbrell out there on the mound for Boston. 1-1, 13 of 15 in the save department. First pitch is a strike at the knees.
Well, it's fastball, curveball, and it is high velocity. And even the curveball is hard.
He misses with it. 1-1.
86, that fastball get up near triple digits. Big strikeout numbers.
Yeah, he started the fastball 95 to Sucre, but he can climb that velocity meter. 97 now. 1-2. Foul ball back. Fastball. Joe Kelly came on, faced one man. He got Duffy. So 7 2/3 for Chris Sale. The 3rd of an inning for Kelly. And now Kimbrell. Two and two on the curveball. It's foul back. Fastball 97. Who's up there battling? And now ball 3. Just with a fastball up there that time. And there's a base hit through the left side. Sucre works the count full and then singles on a 97-mile-per-hour fastball, pulling it through the hole on the left side.
Boy, what a nice at bat by Sucre. Works him into a full count, gets a fastball that wasn't located very well. Trying to throw a strike. That ball's probably in off the plate for ball 4, but he just ropes it into left field. And now the Rays are going to be able to get that tying run up to the plate. 3 shots at it.
Willie Adames, who homered in the 4th, is 1 for 3 tonight. Pitch is down. The Rays have moved Denard Span into the on-deck circle. And Alex Colomé up and standing on the mound, and the bullpen starting to limber. Swing and a miss. Adames missed the fastball. 97. This game has been 4-2 since the 6th. Rays trimmed the deficit to 1, 3-2, and then the home run by Devers made it 4-2. Adames fouls that one back. A ball, 2 strikes. It's Alex Colomé in the bullpen. Close there, 97, and Hamari decided that was off the plate. That had been a strike earlier. Off the plate it is, but Hamari will have a liberal interpretation to that strike zone. 2-2 upstairs, fastball. So full count to Adames. Sucre took it full, singled into left. Now 3-2 to Willie Adames. Adames fouls it back. Fastball in there at 98.
Well, they are making him work. A couple of nice at bats here back to back. Kimbrel has not been particularly sharp with either the fastball or the curveball.
That's 14 pitches so far. Three-two again. And a foul ball one more time. Another fastball. Got a little bit of it.
Better swing on it too. Starting to dial in just a little bit on that heater. And the way that Kimbrel releases that, and we saw it good on that super slow-mo from center field, it just continually looks like it's rising. And you start to swing thinking you're right on it, it just hops your bat. But Adames showing the ability to get up to a couple of them, foul them off.
3-2 again, and a cut and a miss. 97 away, and a strikeout for Kimbrel. The 11th for Boston pitching tonight.
Keeps this one down and just rides it right across the zone. We're looking at him just cover some ground there, and Adames reaching for it.
Well, Adames got one of those called the ball, but that's been a strike, and that close 3-2. He found himself reaching. Field will be lifted. Denard Span will pinch hit. Goes after the first one, lifts it out of play, back of third. Brad Miller has moved in the on-deck circle. He'll be next. Cut and a miss. Fastball up, and it's 0-2.
See how that ball looks like it just continually is rising through the zone. It's not really, but it just, that's the appearance that it gives.
He takes this one inside. Oh, very close right there.
Boy, Amari tightened up here late in the game.
Yep.
And he's right over top of that pitch. So regardless of how it's caught back there by Leon, he's right on it. Doesn't call it, gives Denard Span another chance here.
The 1-2. Little popper. Hustling after it, Leon, and he makes a nice catch. Well, the Boston catcher, Leon, made a fine play, getting out from back of the plate, hustling toward the dugout, back toward the plate, and he made that catch.
Well, the way they had him defensed, he was the only one going to make this play. Look at the hop. Finds it immediately and follows it perfectly. Wow, what was well done.
That really was quite a play. And Brad Miller will pinch hit. He'll hit for Christian Arroyo. So Miller in his left-handed bat. Final hope for the Rays in this one. Sucre's single has started. Adames had an extended at bat before he struck out. Span pinch hitting for field, fouled out on a fine play by the catcher Leon. And now it's Brad Miller. Miller looks at a strike. Miller 1 of 5 in his career against Kimbrel. And a line shot that's going to be in there. Back into the corner it goes. Sucre's got to go to third. Miller into second with a double. And the Rays are still alive. Pinch hit, 2-base hit for Brad Miller. Into the corner. So 2 men on, including the potential tying run at second in scoring position.
Oh, and look at that fastball, belt high right down the middle, and Brad Miller geared for the heater and smokes it into the corner and gets on his horse, gets into second base. Sucre coming around, barreling into third.
He smoked that ball 110.9 off the bat. So it's Sucre third, Miller at second. Rob Refsnyder is the hitter. The pitch, he started to go, checked on the fastball up. 1 ball, no strikes. Snyder without an official at bat against Kimbrel. Upstairs. It's 2-0. 24 pitches here in the 9th inning for Kimbrel. Sucre third, Miller at second. And a big cut and a miss on the fastball, 2-0. Refsnyder aired it out there ahead in the count.
Well, that's when you want to do it, and you backed Kimbrel into a corner that you're probably going to get the fastball, so take a rip at it if you think you can get to it. Still got a 2-1 count to work with.
Ball 3. 3-1 now. Alex Smith would be next if Refsnyder could manage to keep this game going. The 3-1. And ball 4, the bases are loaded. So the Rays are not finished yet. The bases are loaded. Malik Smith will be the hitter. The pitch count up to 27.
He has not been sharp at all. It goes without saying, but a lot of missed pitches off the plate. The Rays, you got to credit them too for some good takes, some long at-bats, good at-bats being worked, and they've given themselves a great chance here. How about Refsnyder too? Just continually able to draw that walk. That's a couple more tonight, huh? Yeah.
Yep, he walked in the 7th, walks here in the 9th. He doubled and scored the 2nd run for the Rays in the 5th inning. Bases are loaded for Malik Smith. Malik's looking for his first hit tonight. .296 on the year for the Rays center fielder. Kimbrel's pitch, and he bounces it foul. Started him with the breaking ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Smith getting his first look at Kimbrel.
But look how shallow they're playing in the outfield, and you see out there in right field, Mookie Betts well off that right field line.
It's upstairs. Fastball. He started to go, but laid off.
Trying to take anything that's going to fall in front of him. Take that away. So he ends up able to get into one and get it deep. Refsnyder running, you clear the bases here. Or if you get one up the line.
Upstairs. It's 2-1.
Boy, how many of the fastballs by Kimbrel have missed high? Just cannot consistently get that ball down into the zone close enough for guys to chase after it.
And he's gone to 30 pitches in this inning. Robertson, the top of the order, is on deck. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Two-one, foul back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two hits and a walk. The Rays have loaded the bases. Now the 2-2. Swung on a ground ball to short. The toss to second for the force to end this game. Rays put up a threat in the 9th. They load the bases and leave them that way and drop this game 4-2. Sale will get the win. Faria takes the loss. A save for Kimbrel. And the Red Sox take the first game of this series. For Brian Anderson, Dwayne Statz, hope you've enjoyed the telecast. If not the outcome, see you tomorrow for Game 2. Rays Live, the post game comes your way next.